Hey everyone, Dan here, and I want to show you today how our new assessment system, named our progression system, will work. Okay, brief history on how and why this came to be. The reassessment is vitally important. Okay, we never lose sight of the fact that our first obligation to you is accountability and results. So that's what we need to do. In a private setting, our one-on-one clients, it's easier to do. It's just the client and the coach. But in a large group setting, most of you, it's much harder. The challenge becomes the logistics of getting everyone done, doing it in the correct time frame, that is 3 or 4 month increments, and fitting it in or around our class schedule. So it's a lot of logistical hurdles. So it occurred to me that to ensure that everyone gets the reassessment done and everyone cares to get it done, which is an issue in of itself, I make it matter more. I make it bigger. Make it a more significant part of our operation. That it is so basic to what we do, that is consistently measuring and tracking your progress, that it becomes a celebration of sorts. All right, your personal results and progress become a celebratory event. So, as is the theme of much of what we do, this assessment and progression system is entirely about personal progress. You are evaluated not against a chart that I pull from a health book, but against your former self. So you can always compare yourself to the standards, the charts, the benchmarks for someone your gender, age, height, and whatever. There's plenty of charts available. What I have always been more interested in, and I believe to be far more personally motivating, is not in comparing against others, but against yourself. Compete against where you are today and be better tomorrow than you are today. So this system solves many of the current challenges and fits nicely into our overall mission. It's purely objective, easier to manage, pits you against your former self, and is more engaging and fun. So every 4 months, we'll have assessment weekend. The first being next weekend, September 24th and 25th. That's Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 2. And after that, it will be January, 4 months from now, and then in May, and then September again. So here it is. Just bring this out. Okay, so let's suppose you have client, I'm just going to put me, Danielle. Okay, so everything is going to be compared against the initial, right? So I'm just going to put in some random numbers. Body fat is BF. Let's go for 26%. CIRC is going to be circumference. Let's say 35 inch waist. Push is going to be some measure of your push. So push up for many, but you may fall into different tiers, tier 1, 2, or 3, given the fitness level. So push up, let's say I did 10. Pull, again, some measure of your pull. Maybe different things for different tiers and fitness levels. Suppose I did 8, and then over here is a squat. We'll say 25. Plank, let's say I did 45, that's seconds. 2 minutes and 30, that's going to refer to the distance traveled on the rower in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Suppose it's 450. And then the 12-minute refers to a 12-minute walk-run test, which is a great test, and this is the distance traveled in 12 minutes between walking and running. Let's suppose I did 1.15 miles. So that's always going to be your initial, and we'll always compare against your initial. So let's suppose then in 4 month increments, I take my reassessment and I get these numbers. Okay, body fat, I dropped by 2%. My circumference is 34. My push-ups 11. My pull 10. All right, so I'm seeing improvements across the board. 26, 56 second plank, 485 meters on the row, and 1.25 on the 12-minute walk run test. So what happens is, given the difference between your initial here and your new, there's a we take the difference and you have a weight for each. So there's some points assigned to the difference. Okay, so obviously something like body fat's going to have the biggest point differential. And once if I have a point total for each category, I'll then take the sum of it and I arrive at 30. Okay, so if I'm 30, what we're going to do is we kind of assigned then some rankings. If you're between 0 and 30, you get the moniker, the name of action taker. Okay? All right, purely objective, that's the difference. That's where you are given your personal progress. So you of course need 2 measurement points. So let's suppose then that I take my initial and my new is not what I just put, but instead I change these, I change the pull-ups to 11. Watch what happens. Over here, my points jump up to 31. Okay? And if you look at this range up here, if you're between a 31 and a 61, you move up in categories. So now you'd be considered an achiever. Okay? Moving on, this is why we call it a personal progression score. And of course, I don't have any other, I just had to shorten it to PP score. So you'll just have to, everyone will just have to deal with the PP score. All right, let's suppose instead my body fat is not just a reduction of 2 right here in the new category, but instead I have a lot of body fat to lose, or I just get ultra lean and it goes down to 18. 18. Look, it happened. Okay, now my PP score, I can't even say that without laughing. My personal progression score, we need another name for that, so we're taking submissions. Jumps up to 79 and immediately puts me in a peak performers category. All right, so we just change this here. Okay, and of course you have the motivator category is the highest. You need a progression score of 100 and plus. So let's suppose that against my initial measurements, my circumference drops big time down to like a 28. Okay, look at that. I'm at 109. And that, my friends, is how you become a motivator. So that's the heart of it. Again, as I said, there will be different tests for each, but they all will, the constants you can expect will be body fat testing, circumference measurements, and then the distance traveled in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and the 12-minute walk run test. The only things that may change given different fitness levels are the push, pull, squat, and plank test. All right, I'm sure there may be some many questions. I've blocked out all the names here, but this is all of you guys. This is the very simple Excel that I'll be using to track all of this. All right, so we're looking for, I think the beauty in the system is as you progress and you level up, right? So all my achievers move up to peak performers. My peak performers jump up to motivators. Obviously, there's some insignia and things that kind of classify, where you are. We have something special for all the motivators. All right, so that's that, and I'll talk soon.